Welcome, guys. I'm doing a review of the movie Tusk. Yeah, I watched that. It's directed by Kevin Smith. He was in Jay and Silent Bob. He was also in Clerks, Clerks 2, and really, I I really enjoyed Tusk, but it's one of those movies you can't really take seriously because it's almost like the human centipede. I mean, the guy turns a guy into a walrus. You know, it doesn't really make sense, but at the same time, it's enjoyable to watch. And I was surprised that Haley Joel Osment was in it. Man, did he get fat! Oh my god! But I also like the fact that they brought in Gayla Point from the podcast. Yeah, I'm gonna be uploading this to my channel. I'm gonna be doing reviews of movies. This is my first review of a movie. I'm also gonna do reviews of music. Guys, just post comments of what artist or band you want me to listen to. I'll listen to a few songs and I'll do a review based off of that. Because I want to do not just gaming, I also want to do reviews of games, movies, music, because those are the three major things that I love. So, yeah. Back to this movie, it's about Justin Long. He is a podcaster along with Haley Joel Osment, his best friend. And Justin Long goes to Canada to follow a lead for a podcast. And the person commits suicide. So he loses that lead. So he's looking for a major story to give to his listeners. And he comes along and meets a guy named Howard Howe. And he's very eccentric and weird. And like eccentric, you would say maybe like Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, Raoul Duke. That's an eccentric person. This guy is just a tad higher than Raoul Duke. And you know, if you've ever seen Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, he's an eccentric person. So then, as the story progresses, like, Justin Long feels uncomfortable being here with this guy. So he tries leaving, and he can't. And this is what leads up to Tusk, or as this eccentric guy calls him, Mr. Tusk. I'm not gonna spoil anything more other than that for those who have not seen the movie. You just have to watch the movie to get it. And like I said, it's a great movie. I enjoyed it. It's a movie you really can't take seriously because of like the walrus outfit that this eccentric person wears and the one that Justin Long is in. It's gruesome to an extent. It's like a cuddlier version of the human centipede because it's not as graphic. They cut out a lot of the actual operation of what he does to these people. So it's not as bad as the human centipede. It's more suspense driven than the human centipede, I think. So if you're into suspenseful types of movies, this is definitely a movie you want to watch. Well, with that being said, there's only one thing I did not like is when they introduced Gayla Point, who's also in the podcast, which is called Smodcast. And I think it's like episode 139 or 239. It's one of those two. And Gayla Point's a detective looking for this eccentric guy, and Gayla Point is an eccentric person himself. just nowhere near as eccentric and crazy as this killer, so to speak, because he kills people and turns them into walruses. So, as to that, it's kind of hard to explain, except for the fact that when Gila Point first meets Haley Joel Osment when they're looking for Justin Long, he has a flashback to like 2 years before this all happens, where he first meets this guy, and the flashback drags out too long because it's just like filler that you really don't need. It's just the point where you realize he's the killer and you let him go. Well, you don't drag out the whole story. But other than that, I got no problems with this movie. And like I said, it's well written. Kevin Smith did a great job with it. And I think I would watch it again, most definitely. I know I have a few friends who've already seen it. They've suggested I watch it. I haven't had the chance until it came out to DVD. So this was the first time I watched it, and I'm just giving you my honest review off of the first watch of what I've seen and the attention to detail that I was paying attention to. So, on the scale of 1 to 5, I'd give this a solid 4.8. I mean, it's not the best movie I've ever seen, but it's one of those movies that's up there. So, guys, if you've never seen it, I suggest you go watch it. And I'm just going to sign off, and I'll see you in the next review episode. Peace.